Welcome back to Four Faces. Today we're going to talk about how Bernie Sanders failed us. Yes, Bernie Sanders failed us. The independent Democrat failed us. The progressive failed us. And this is just the facts. Let's face it. He had a chance to push something that's extremely important, which is an increase of the minimum wage, which he did not do. He didn't do it. He could have, but he did not do it. Now, let's talk about this. I'm a little frustrated, but let's talk about this. Four Faces, we do this every week. We need to talk about what he did not do. And here's the thing. Think about this. So now people get the $1,400, right? It's passed the Senate. They're going to give out $1,400. That $1,400 is going to go in no time, right? You're going to take that $1,400. You probably back in your expenses, your rent, whatever, bills. You're going to spend that $1,400 before the month is over. That's going to be gone. That's done. That's going to be finished. But what's not going to be gone, what's still going to be hindering most people is their paycheck, right? Think about it. The minimum wage is $7.25. Did you know also that the tip minimum wage, the tips, that means, people that work in restaurants, catering and stuff like that, the tip minimum wage is only $2.25. Imagine that. $2.25. The rest of the money, hopefully people tip you more, right? Now, the truth of the matter is there are some states that mandate that you have to give a salary along with the tip, but there are other states that do not mandate that at all. It's $2.25. You pay by tips. You get that money, $2.25, and hopefully, like I said before, people tip you high, give you some big money, right? So, my point is this. Bernie Sanders, and other progressives too. I'm talking about Bernie Sanders right now, but there are other progressives, and you can look at my other videos to see me talking about them too. But in this situation, Bernie Sanders, when he was running for president, he said that he's going to force to work for the middle class. I'm going to go for the middle class. I want them to be, build them up and make them strong and all this la, 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 la. And now you have the opportunity to do it. He's the lead budget. I mean, he controls the budget. He's the guy. He's the go-to guy. And what did he do? He dropped the bomb. He dropped it. Oh my gosh. Instead, he let that one Democrat, Joe Manchin, sit there and dictate to him, who's been in the Senate for longer than him, dictate to him what should be and what shouldn't be. Could you imagine that? You're supposed to be Bernie Sanders. You're the independent guy. Instead, you just let the bill go by. Oh, okay, well, whatever. Yeah, I mentioned it. No, you could have stopped the vote just as much as he could have stopped the vote. When I say he, I'm talking about Joe Manchin. You could have forced your agenda through just as much as he did. So what did Joe Manchin do? Well, let me tell you what he did. He was able to reduce the unemployment from 400 to 300. He also forced them to scale back on who would get the stimulus check. And we talked about this in other videos, how Biden lied because he said that everybody would get the stimulus check, the same people that got it before, and that's not the case. Over millions of people are not going to be getting the stimulus check, which means their kids won't be getting, they won't be able to take care of their kids because now the parents don't get the people that file for the stimulus check won't get it, which means they can't give nothing to their kids neither, right? And on top of all that, Joe Manchin also wanted, you know what? We're not going to pass no increase in minimum wage. We're gonna cut it right here. Could you imagine that? Bernie Sanders is supposed to be an independent. Instead, he allowed that to happen. Just like Joe Manchin was threatening to not vote on the bill, Bernie Sanders could do the exact same thing. But he didn't do it. I'm telling you now, in the next election, make sure you vote who's going to do the right thing. But I tell you also, like I mentioned before, if nobody's going to do the right thing, vote for nobody. If the Republicans going to do the right thing, vote Republican. That's it. Because as you can see, just because you vote for a Democrat do not mean that you're going to get what you want. And I don't care if it's Bernie Sanders. I don't care if it's AOC. And by the way, just as a side note, is the House of Representatives going to do anything about them not increasing the minimum wage? I'm going to give you the answer. Probably not. Probably not. Everybody talks good game, but when it's time to actually do something, everybody's backing off. Everybody's hands off. Well, look at this person. Well, Biden don't want it. What type of nonsense is that? What type of nonsense is that? And just one more last thing I want to mention with the stimulus checks is this. Now that everybody that had it before will not be getting it this time around, let me just give you a little background on that. If you made over $8,000 single filer, you're getting nothing now. If you made over 160,000 as a couple, you're not getting nothing now. If you made between 75 to 80,000 before, you will still get a pretty good amount, but now you're getting almost way less than what you got before. The same thing for people that file as a couple. Between 150 and 160, if you made anything between there, the amount that you got before, you will not be, more likely will not be getting what you had in the previous checks. I say this, that it's a shame that the Democrats have total control, and yet they're allowing Trump era to do better than they did. Now, people say, hold up, but Trump was this and that. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not saying Trump was some savior. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that, think about it. As far as the stimulus checks are concerned, Trump gave $1,800. That's number one. Number two, Trump allowed people up to $200,000 to get the stimulus check, which means they can take care of the kids, their family. Suppose you're a family of five. Suppose you live in New York or California, all these other states. $150,000, $160,000 as a couple is really not a lot of money when you're paying like $2,000 a month in rent or $3,000 something a month and for mortgage. It's not a lot. I'm just going on, but it's sad that the Democrats failed us. They're not doing what they said they was going to do. Also to add to that, the money for student debt relief, Biden is not even talking about that no more. He dropped the ball on that too. So as you can see, I'm trying to show you history of how the Democrats are they're buckling, they're falling apart, they're lying, they're reneging on what they said, and they make it look like everything is okay, and it's not. It's not. And you know what? We're gonna go at them every single time they say something that they said they was gonna do, and they're not doing it now. That includes Harrison, that includes Bernie, that includes AOC, all of them. Every last one of them could have made this bill way better than they did. And then one more thing I want to say, I know I said that before, but one more thing I want to say is involving the vaccine. Now, Biden is saying, he want to get all these vaccines, and to everybody's credit, the vaccine is being distributed. There's no question about that. I myself, like I said in previous videos, have got vaccinated. But here's something that a lot of people don't understand. The vaccines that's being distributed today, the money, the financing behind that got nothing to do with Biden. That money that is utilized today to distribute the vaccines is from Trump administration. That's something that you need to understand. It's not Biden. Trump administration that just agreed on the stimulus plan in January, that's the money being used to distribute and pay for all this vaccination that you see today. So my question is, okay, so you're saying that you're going to do this and that, but you're already distributing millions and millions and millions of vaccine that was due to Trump signing off on the last stimulus bill. And that's facts. And you may say, that's not true, but think about it. Is the stimulus plan passed yet? Is it a bill yet? As of 3/7/2021, it is not a bill yet. So that's the proof you need. The proof is that the amount of vaccines being distributed now is under Trump's administration, not under Biden's. The money, I'm talking about the financing, is under Trump administration, not under Biden's. Anyway, leave a comment below. Make sure in 2022 or 2024, don't sit and just vote for Democrats and think that they're going to do the right thing for you. At the end of the day, that is not true. And I don't care if it's Bernie Sanders, who could have passed the minimum wage increase, or AOC, who's allowing this to go by. And, it's crazy. Peace, Four Faces. Talk to you soon.